after what I can only describe as the most terrifying drive I've ever had. It's horrendous. We are here at Linear Fisheries, so just waiting for the gates to open. We get in, get the draw done, find out what peg we're fishing, and we can get started. So hopefully catch up with you in a bit with an update, and hopefully some fish. Happy days! Right, my babbers. So we finally set up in a swim. Me and Chris, goes by the YouTube name Carp Angler Chris. Are set up next door to each other. I'll take you around. He's having a nap. He left the house at sort of 2 o'clock this morning to get here, so I'll take you around, introduce you to him in a bit. So yeah, I had a bit of a nightmare getting the rods out. So it took me probably about, I don't know, an hour to wrap 3 rods up. That's done now. I'll go through what my starting approach is in a bit. I'm just hiding away in the bivvy at the minute because it is freezing. It is very cold. I'll do some catching up in a bit and let you know what's going on. Happy days! There you are, guys. It wouldn't be a linear video without the obligatory plane flying across the sky. I've watched enough of them on YouTube now to know that that's pretty much a must. So there you go. There's your plane. Happy days. Right, my babbers. So, update. It's just coming up to 3 o'clock. Couple of liners, but nothing else. So, as it stands, I have 2 rods on one spot. If I zoom in, the spot is around about there, just where that gap in the trees are. It's about 15 wraps out. There's a gravel bar, and I'm fishing just off the back of that. And then I have the other rod, which I'm just sort of a roving rod, and at the minute it is around about there, but that rod will, like I say, move about throughout the session depending on how I'm feeling or whether I see any fish. So as it stands, no fish yet. No one on the lake's caught anything yet, although the guys just over there have both lost a fish, I believe, so that's positive. So as you can see, it almost looks like it's pretty dark already. It's not long past lunchtime, so I'm going to redo the rods in a minute, and I'll take you through everything rig wise and stuff in the morning. Redo the rods, a couple of spoms over the top, and I think I'm going to light my barbecue in the bivvy. It is freezing. So, update you in a bit.
Trouble. We on this. Could we ready me? Fingers in my mouth. Trouble. We on this. Could we ready me? Fingers in my mouth. Trouble.
So fishless night for me, although quite a few beats. The majority of those were some unwelcome visitors in the way of rats running under my bite alarms, knocking my bobbins. Unfortunately, all my rods were wiped out by the time I woke up this morning. Just big beds of dead floating weed come right through and took out pretty much all three of my rods. So brought them in, had a flick around with the lead just to check the spots that I was fishing, and at the minute they're caked. So I've cast just beyond where I'm fishing with the lead. Real nice firm donk, still reasonably deep, not fishing too shallow. So I've redone the rods, and I've got them back out. It's only a rod length farther than I was fishing, but with any luck that'll do the trick. Unfortunately, Chris had a run last night about 10 o'clock. He's playing it for a good few minutes, and then it weeded him up, and unfortunately he lost it. Ended up bringing in a big ball of weed. So we'll pop next door now and have a little chat with Chris, see how he feels about it. Hopefully that wasn't his only chance, so fingers crossed. Double. So we're over in Chris's swim. As you can see, he's just doing an update. Just explain to everyone how you feel after losing that fish last night.
Oh mate, not as sick as I did last night. Yeah,
it's had the night to sleep on it.
I've just been telling myself there's still time.
Oh, there's loads of time yet, so
yeah, went to the solid bag, so I've got 2 solid bags out now. I've given on my little spot that I found at 12.5 wraps. I've gone to 14.5 now, which I think is just before the bar in front of my swim.
Yeah.
Just a small ball of maggots on that, and I'm not topping that up until tonight. I'm just going to try and nick one bite off any rod.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, I'm glad I investigated the rods now, because all 3 were weeded up. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. But just going that one rod length beyond where I was has made all the difference. It's definitely a nice firm knock on the deck, and the lead seemed to drop for quite a while. It wasn't, so it's not shallow.
Yeah, definitely deeper out there. No, I feel like I can sit on my hands now till there and just there's 3 rods ready for just a single bite.
Yeah.
If one comes along and picks it up.
Well, there we go, guys. Fingers crossed. Dying to get a fish to show you all, but we'll have to take it as it comes. No one else on the lake's caught yet, so I think one fish is going to take the prize money. So yeah, that's you guys up to date. I'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, just there, look. Ooh.
Keep trying to talk my missus into coming having a try, but she's not having any of it.
I used to, and I've taken her a couple of times, but she's not got the patience. She can happily sit down and do nothing, but if she's trying to catch, she won't sit down and do nothing. She just hasn't got the patience for it. I took her to plantations, and we were fishing on the bottom. All the fish were cruising around on the top. She was like, "Have you not got anything that they want?" I was like, "Right," so I give her a zig, and she went to cast it, and it went fucking backwards. I was like, "I don't know how you've done that." And then it dawned on me. I thought, well, I like fishing because it gets me away from the house. So now I've stopped asking it. It's nice to have that fucking alone time, like.
Showing you some pictures the other days.
I've just said all that on camera. Love you. Right, my bammers, so as you've probably seen, we've just had breakfast, and then where I recast this morning was a rod length beyond the spot that I was previously fishing due to the weed that floated throughout the night. I didn't want to start spomming at 8 o'clock this morning, so I thought we'd give it till after breakfast. So I've been fishing singles out there up until now. I've just put around 10 spoms over those two, and I've left the margin rod as is with, say, 20, 30, maybe 40 boilie over the top. So my spom mix is pretty simple. It's pretty standard here for linear, I suppose. So corn, bit more corn, some 10mm total nuts, pineapple tigers, along with some hemp, and then I've just used the pineapple tigers hydro glug over the top of that, and yeah, that's about it. So you say it's about 11 o'clock-ish now. Today, completely different day to yesterday. You can see there, sun's shining. The winds died right down. It's nowhere near as cold as it was yesterday. It's meant to get cold again tonight. So yeah, hopefully it's looking good for a bite, let's say. So fingers crossed. No one's actually landed a fish around the lake yet. There's been 4 runs as far as I'm aware, and 4 drop fish, so fingers crossed. If we can get a run, we can get it in, and we'll take it from there. Happy days. Right guys, so just gonna quickly run through the rigs that I'm using at the minute. Although if nothing happens before it gets dark, I might decide to have a little change about and see if we can't bring on a bite that way. So on one rod I'm fishing a total knots bottom bait, and that's just topped with some slow sinking corn, and that is fished blowback style on a supple, so the hook is on a supple piece of hair, and then that is onto a semi-stiff boom with a anti-tangle sleeve. So really simple, just a small amount of putty there just to keep things pinned down. The margin rod, I am fishing a Ronnie Rig, and again that is nice and simple. So it's a pineapple tigers pop-up. However, on the rod that's out there, I have trimmed that pop-up down. Just get into focus. Yeah, I've trimmed that pop-up down so it's more like a 10 miller. I prefer a small pop-up on a Ronnie Rig, even with a big hook, and that is just attached to a tidy boom. Obviously balance it with a blob of putty, which I haven't got on this rig, but I do have on the one that's out. And again, just down to a anti-tangle sleeve. And on the other rod that's on the long spot, it's again real simple. In fact, it's the same rig as the first rig. However, because my spod mix is predominantly corn, I've just gone with a stack of corn, exactly the same rig. So it's a blowback rig, supple at the end, and then it's just attached to a semi-stiff boom, which should be just stiff enough to help kick it away. I've checked it in the margin; it sinks real slow. So it's 2 slow sinking bits of corn, 1 pop-up corn, and it sits up just like that off the bed of the lake. So the hook's flat, and as soon as the fish sucks that up, it allows the hook to turn. And again, that one's out on the long spot, so real simple, nothing overly complicated. However, I might change things up a little bit later. The one thing I can say is we haven't seen any signs of fish the entire time we've been here, other than the 3 or 4 runs that people have had and fish have dropped off. There's been no bubbling, no signs of movement. Every time you think you've seen a fish, turns out it was just a coot or a tufty. Seen a few cormorants flying around today. Not really seen any on the lake. There is a lot of bird life. Now, whether the carp, I know carp tend to follow swans because they do like to feed on the feces for some strange reason. I can't imagine swan shit being that appetizing. So yeah, gonna keep watching the water and keep you guys updated. Happy days.
Trouble. Me on this. Could be around me. Fingers in my mouth. Trouble. Me on this. Could be around me. Fingers in my mouth. Trouble.
Morning, my babbers. So it's the final morning. We're here till about 4 o'clock, so we've still got a bit of time left yet. But unfortunately, another fishless night, and that seems to be the case for the entire lake. No one's had anything yet. So far, I think there's 27 of us here, and 27 of us are blanking. It's been a bit funny because you'll find a clear spot you know you can present a rig on, get a rig on it, a little bit of bait, and it just doesn't stay clear for long. There's so much dead weed that just seems to mooch around. So it's very difficult to fish the same spot for any extended period, or at least that's what I'm finding anyway. So we're gonna crack on, persevere, keep at it, and keep our fingers crossed. We're not gonna give up. We're gonna keep trying and see what we can do. Happy days. Right, my babbers. Unfortunately, that's it for me. Big fat blank. At the minute, no one else is caught. Chris is going to stay on and try and he's going to keep working at it. It's got until 4, so still got 4 hours left. But I've got a headache which is slowly turning into a migraine, and I've got a pretty long drive to get home, so I just want to get home before I have to shut myself in a dark room. So yeah, unfortunately a blank. But all that means is I'll definitely be back. February, March, more than likely. And then again throughout the spring and summer I'll definitely be here a few times. So all that's left for me to do now is reel the rods in and start planning the next adventure. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the bank. Happy days.